Albert Einstein famously said, "If a cluttered desk is the sign of a cluttered mind, what then is an empty desk a sign of?" Every few years, some article will go around about how a cluttered desk is a sign of a genius. Well, I don't want to be a genius. I just want to be able to find a pen that works when I'm sitting at my desk. More and more research shows that clutter negatively impacts our ability to focus. And I do struggle with focus. In fact, my word of the year for 2022 is focus. So it is especially important to me that the space around my desk, the space where I need to focus, to work on my YouTube videos, to work on my piano studio, to help my daughter who I homeschool, that needs to be a space that is optimized for focus. And it is not currently. Today, I am going to work on bringing some peace and order to the 6-foot bookshelves that sit next to my desk, so that I do not have this looming tower of clutter over my head, and in the hopes that that will help me better focus when I'm sitting at my desk and doing some work. As you saw in one of my other videos where I talked about decluttering and organizing in order to have space to declutter and organize, linked, I do have a dining room where I've got quite a lot of space to be able to declutter, but I don't really want to empty this entire bookshelf and take it all the way to the space I have in the dining room to organize everything on it and put back what's going to stay. And I don't have the space in this room to do that either. Maybe a little space on the floor, but that's just a recipe for having a big mess if you can't complete it at the time that you start. So I'm going to go through several steps to organize my bookshelves without taking everything off my bookshelves. And that's often a common issue for a lot of people who are organizing, is that you don't have the space to take everything out in order to organize. So let's get started with step 1. Before you even touch your disorganized space, you need to gather up some places for the things that are going to come out of this space to go. 1, a box or basket to put everything that belongs someplace else in your house. A donation box, trash and recycling containers. So gather those first so that as you take things off of the shelf, you have someplace to put them, not just a pile on the floor. We want to avoid the pile on the floor. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to know every time I post a video about decluttering and simplifying my life. Step 2, going shelf by shelf. Take off the things that very obviously don't belong on the shelves or that are trash. The next thing I'm going to do on my shelf is literally go through every single book. And I'm going to decide if it's going to stay on this bookshelf, if it's going to move to another bookshelf, if I'm going to donate it, if I'm going to sell it. Now, I will check books to see if I'm going to sell them first before I decide if I'm going to donate them. If you would like an entire video, especially since I do so much with books, I am also a book blogger. You might notice if you hop over to my blog, the link is in the description, that I do a lot of book reviews. If you would like an entire video on how to decide how to declutter books, because I know that was one of the most traumatizing things when Marie Kondo's decluttering came out, is that you should only keep 30 books, which was a complete misunderstanding of what she said. If you would like another video on how do you decide how to declutter our precious books, leave a comment down in the description and I will work on that, because I do have ideas on how to declutter books properly. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all of these very convenient and overstuffed drawers and these organizers and decide what actually needs to be on this bookshelf. For example, at this stage in our homeschool journey with a high school student and a college student, I probably don't need to keep the crayons, markers, and colored pencils right beside my desk. So anything that's a container, I'm going to go through, decide what needs to stay, what needs to go, and organize from there. I suspect that this one will leave entirely, and I don't know about these two yet. So after I take out everything that doesn't belong, trash, I've gone through all the books, I've gone through all of the closed containers. Basically, then I'll go through and look at anything that's left. Hopefully there shouldn't be a lot left at that point, but I know I've got like a greeting card organizer. I've got some craft projects from my kids. Like I still have the golden apple from when my son, who is now a freshman in college, studied Greek mythology and the three goddesses fighting over the golden apple. And he made this. I don't even know how many years ago, but it's been a while, but I still have the golden apple. Do I need the golden apple? I don't know. Once you have gone through all of the things in the space, my bookshelf in this case, you want to then take a step back and look at the space with a fresh eye, with a beginner's mindset. Have you taken enough things out of the space? Is it decluttered enough to make you feel peaceful and orderly with the space? You need to take out more. One of the things that I find can be helpful is to take a step back, take a photograph of the space, give it a little bit, or even ask friends to look at it and say, is there something here that you see that I could do something better with or something different with? Another thing you can do with the photo also is, if I saw that on Pinterest, would I be drawn to that? If not, then run back through your space again and see, is there something else I can take out? So my shelves are in a much better place. I have everything gone that doesn't belong there. I've taken out books that don't need to be there anymore, whether I need to donate them, sell them. We're just not using them right now, so they could be stored on a different bookshelf. I have cleaned out the drawers. I have dusted. That was long overdue. And I'm in a really happy spot with what the bookshelves look like. But I have one more thing I need to do before it's done. All of the boxes and recycling bins and trash cans that I gathered at the beginning need to be dealt with now, or I'm not really done. So I'm going to put the donation boxes in the back of my van so that I can get them to the donation center this week. I will put the books I plan on selling downstairs in the basement with the other books that I sell, throw away the trash, throw out the recycling, and that box of things that belong someplace else, I need to find a home for them now and put them in those new homes, or then I've just got another box of clutter that I'm going to have to deal with later. It's better to just get it all done now. Thank you for joining me today as I have decluttered my workspace a little bit. I hope your days are increasingly clutter-free and filled with the people and things that bring you the most joy. Till next time.